Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Cybercriminals could cripple the U.S. by targeting just 10 critical components in an electrical network, experts have revealed. The attack would begin with a series of cascading failures, first shutting down essential service providers, like 911 call centers and healthcare providers, and then spreading to critical infrastructure. Americans would lose access to energy, water, financial services, public transportation and cell phone networks, resulting in severe ramifications. Morgan Wright, a former senior advisor in anti-terrorism at the U.S. State Department, told DailyMail.com that civil unrest and a breakdown in the social order would soon follow. The world had a taste of what a cyber attack could do when a flawed update was issued by cybersecurity firm CrowdStrike last month, causing 8.5 million Windows computers to malfunction. The misstep impacted airlines, banks, supermarkets, TV stations, and many other industries worldwide. Microsoft experienced a second outage on Tuesday, which impacted many of its services and companies that use its tech for about 10 hours. The tech giant later admitted that its services were taken down by a distributed denial of service, DDoS, attack that was amplified by an error in the company's cyber defenses. Eric O'Neill, a former FBI counterterrorism and counterintelligence operative, told DailyMail.com that foreign spies have spent over a decade looking for security holes in infrastructure to leverage for conducting catastrophic cyber attacks. They have already found ways to disrupt America's fuel, power, water, communications, and education systems as they look to exploit our reliance on these essential resources, he continued. An attack of this kind would have dire consequences for U.S. citizens, such as even killing Americans on their soil, warned Nicholas Reese, a cyber expert and adjunct instructor at the Center for Global Affairs at New York University. He explained that a cyber attack on 911 call centers would deprive patients of urgent medical care. Meanwhile, hospitals would see a disruption in intensive care units and operating rooms, causing medical equipment to falter and patient deaths. Deliberate large-scale attacks on critical infrastructure would not be executed with the goal of inconvenience, Reese said. They would be executed to cause domestic turmoil as a means of power projection. Describing an attack on this scale as a significant act of aggression against America, Reese suggested it would require a serious response from the government. That could mean the nation is dragged into a military conflict with the perpetrator. Cybercriminals are aware that taking control of essential resources, like energy and water, would be the way to cripple the nation, the expert said. This was experienced in 2021 when a hacker group known as DarkSide shut down the Colonial Pipeline that supplies oil to much of the U.S. East Coast. The 5-day disruption caused localized shortages of gasoline, diesel fuel and jet fuel, which led to panic buying as consumers feared gas would run out. We saw a microcosm of how citizens would respond during the Colonial Pipeline ransomware attack, explained Wright. There was a run on gasoline because of a perceived shortage of energy, not an actual one. The unrest only took hours to swell because of social media and incorrect reports of what actually happened. In light of the Colonial Pipeline chaos, O'Neill believes that a cyber attack on U.S. power supplies would have a similar ripple effect for all Americans. Without power, citizens would lose communications, air conditioning, heat, water when we turn the tap and lights when we flick the switch, he said. Business would grind to a halt, finances would be unavailable and hospitals would be unable to provide care, and so much more. To conduct such an attack, O'Neill said the perpetrator would likely target the Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition, SCADA, networks, which help manage industrial equipment because they are easy targets due to insufficient cybersecurity and outdated software. The orchestrated attack would require numerous, synchronized attacks against different components of the power grid, he explained. But with our networked economy and supply chain, taking down just one major section of the U.S. power grid would throw the country into chaos. A final element could be physical attacks.